before. Nobody in my family did it, but I had to figure it out on my own. But thankfully, you got YouTube, you got Google, you have the free library. If you don't got a computer at home, go to the free library. Starbucks got free Wi-Fi. Tell you, the resources are there. You just gotta go get them. I use the library all the time. I got a membership to that thing. But what were you going to say? Oh my God, a 911 operator. That's an intense career. Yep.
I want to be a forensic analysis.
Oh, I love it. What made you where did you find out about that?
I went to a camp and they took us to a board and they let us they taught us about the human body.
Yep. Gosh. Go for it. See, I love it when people have these big goals because, unfortunately, a lot of times we only think within the lens of what we see. Like maybe if none of your family were lawyers, you might think, oh, I can't do that. And then your family were morticians or forensic analysis, you think you can't do that. But the reality is you can do it. As cheesy as it sounds, you can really do whatever you set your mind to. I know people who make thousands of dollars selling hoodies with paints on them. Like they paint hoodies and sell those hoodies for $1,000, and they sell them out fast. If you really do the work necessary, you can make it happen. I have an office building down in Center City, and I'm the youngest person there. Obviously, I'm 19. These people are like 25, 30, 40. And they look at me like, who's this kid? Well, this kid earned this spot. If you do the work, you can get into wherever you want to be. Anybody else got some stuff they're trying to achieve this year? Yep. Yeah, I thought you'd raise your hand. Oh, okay. I like to ask, that way I don't start running my mouth for the whole 45 minutes or however long I decide to be here. Because there's a lot of things I want to tell people. There's a lot of things that I could. But when it comes to your legacy, in my own life, I didn't grow up with the best legacy. Okay? Y'all don't need all the details of it, but I got kicked out when I was 13, grew up without a father. It was a bit messy. However, I could have let that define me. And you could let the issues you go through hold you back. You might think, oh, because of what happened when I was younger, because of what this person said to me, because of what people online might be judging me for, because of whatever. You start to think, oh, I can't because of that. But maybe that thing is actually what's going to qualify you to be able to go for that career. Everybody says, okay, I want to be the first in my family. But in order to do that, you gotta do what it takes. Okay? You have to be willing to step out there, even when you don't have it all figured out. I don't plan my speeches that way. I do them completely off the top of my head because that's when it's most authentic and genuine. Can somebody pass my water? My throat's starting to close up here. It's right behind that printer. Thank you. Yep, that Gatorade bottle right there. No. Talk really fast. Thank you. Now, have y'all gone over the definition of legacy before? What does it mean to you? Like, when you think legacy, when you think reputation, when you think impact on the world, what's that mean to you? Yes?
I think it means the mark that you leave.
That's a great way of putting it. Yep. What you say? Here. Okay. Did you just raise your hand back there? Okay. Good. When it comes to the mark you want to leave on the world, that's a big thing to think about. Because every day you leave a mark on somebody. You might be at the grocery store, right? And you see a cashier and they're having a bad day. You tell them, good morning. Thank you. Have a good one. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their You tell them, what's going on? I'm here for you. You can talk to me. That means so much more to people than you think. Because y'all might not be completely familiar with what this is, but when I was 12 at this time, I got diagnosed with autism, which is just a different way that people think. It's not what you might hear in the stereotypes. It's not some guy who's like super duper weird, like in his basement all day. That's not what it is. It's just a way where your brain works a little different. You see things different. You get really, really focused on certain things. And for me, I was always different. That's why, up until the age of 11, I didn't really make friends because I couldn't relate to people. I couldn't understand why they were the way that they acted. And I couldn't understand why people treated me so bad. But the mark that people left on me, I decided, instead of me having a bad mark on other people and a bad impact on them, I'm going to make a good one. I'm going to let people know that, as cliche as these sayings are, you really can do anything you set your mind to. You really can. You might think one day, okay, I want to make music. I used to do that. And looking back on it, my songs were terrible, but I had the audacity to post it. You might only get like 2 people who like what you do. You might only have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people who encourage you. But are you going to listen to the people who doubt you, or are you going to listen to those who are trying to encourage you? Are you going to listen to the ones who say you can't, or the ones who say you can? Because, unfortunately, most of the time, there will be somebody who's going to judge you. But you have to be willing to not judge yourself. You have to be willing to believe in you, even if other people don't. When I started making YouTube videos and doing what I do today, my family, they were like, I mean, go ahead, it's a little weird, but he's trying something. And you have to be willing to do stuff even when other people doubt you. Especially when it comes to going to college. That's a scary thing to do. Because when you see that tuition amount and then you got to pay that up and then you got to get a bank loan for it and all this stuff and apply for scholarships, that's scary. But you can't allow the fear of that, the fear of whatever you may have to do, to stop you from having a good impact on not only yourself, not only the people around you, but ultimately on the world. Because a criminal defense lawyer, you're not just helping make some money for you and your family. You're actually giving justice to people who are grieving. That's what you're doing there. A lawyer, whatever career, like whatever type of lawyer, because there's divorce lawyers, there's criminal lawyers, there's real estate lawyers, there's so many different types. Whichever kind you go into, you're actually helping people. Somehow, some way, you're helping. And what I do, I have a lot of times when I sit back and I start getting my own. I start thinking, are these people really liking me? What is this? What is that? What if they're thinking this? But when you start to let those doubts creep in there, that's when you dim your light. You start to say, oh no, I'm not going to try that hard. I'm not going to apply for that big position. I'm not going to really give my full attention and impact to people because you're worried about what they're going to think. Think about anybody who's had a big impact on the world. Anyone who's had a big impact. You can name Beyonce. You can name Jay-Z. You can name Oprah. You can name Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You can name anybody who has any big impact in the world. They had a lot of people judge them. A lot of people really hated them. A lot of people loved them. But naturally, you're going to have people who love you. You're going to have people who don't. You're going to have people who think you're weird. You're going to have people who think you're the coolest thing ever. For me, when I go fishing, and I'm out there sitting at this lake for 12 hours a day, just no music, no nothing. It's just me and this water. People walk by and they just look at me like, but I don't care. Because I'm enjoying myself. I'm proud of the person I've become. My 9-year-old self, if he would have saw what I do today, he and people around you might say, you start to hide that a little bit. And that's because people have a lot of opinions. When I post my videos, and I might put a TikTok somewhere or whatever, I get a lot of people who love what I do. I get a lot of people who don't. You have to be able to keep going even when your family might think, oh, why do you want to go to college? Why do you want to do that career? Why do you want to do this? You got to keep going even in the face of that. Because we start thinking, oh, what is people going to think about me? The way I talk. I do not talk in proper English if you pay attention to it. I use words that make no sense if you were to write it down. But they make sense because of how I do it. And you don't need to make sense to everyone. The legacy that you have is the legacy that you have on the world. Because there will come a day when you might be 75 years old, and I think about this all the time, actually. It's what motivates me to keep doing what I do. There's going to come a day when you're 75 years old, and you're laying on your bed, and your knees hurt, you got arthritis in your hands, you're thinking, what if I actually put that song out? Where would I be? What if I posted that video? What if I applied to that college? What if I went for all the dreams and all the aspirations that my family and my friends and people around me thought were unrealistic? What if I actually did it? What then? And you don't want to be sitting there with that shoulda, coulda, woulda syndrome. You don't want to be sitting there thinking about the impact you could have had if you were yourself. If you were willing to do what people said was unrealistic. Because something I've realized is when someone says it's unrealistic, when that goal is unrealistic, they're saying it's unrealistic for them, from how they see it, from the way that they think. It's unrealistic based on how they see the world. Doing what I do now, you would think getting paid to talk is unrealistic. You would think publishing books when I was 18 years old was unrealistic. That's how most people see it, because you just never saw that before. But when you realize that your view of yourself, your feelings about you, set the bar for what is possible for you, you're not going to start saying, oh, but that's unrealistic. You're going to hear that. You might actually say it. You might be like, oh, but no, I could never do that. That's too big. And you're going to be like, what? Why would you think your goal is too big for you? That's not what you think about yourself. That's the stuff that maybe you heard growing up. That's the stuff that people said to you. That's the stuff that you might have watched. That's the stuff that you see on social media saying what you can and cannot be, what you can and cannot do. But it's your life. The impact that you want to have on the world is up to you to make that impact. If you decided that you want to make a different genre of music, you want to make electronic house music, but all your family likes rap, make that music. Do your thing. Be somebody that you're proud of, because it's your life. And when I realized that, hey, I gotta be with me. I have to be proud of the man I see in the mirror. I have to leave a legacy in the world that I can get on my deathbed and go, you know what? I did that. I show people that no matter what you've been through, no matter where you come from, no matter what your family said, no matter what your friends said, no matter what social media said, no matter what YouTube said, or the radio, or all these things, none of that matters. Okay? Because you're the one in control of your life. There will come a day when you'll catch yourself saying again, that's too big. I can never do that. Little old me, little old Lawrence could have never did this. But that's because little old Lawrence kept listening to what everybody else was saying about it. Once I stopped listening to the opinions of everyone outside of me, and instead realized, well, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What kind of life do I want to live? What kind of impact do I want to have on the world? Then I realized, okay, now I know what I want. How can I do that? Then I went on YouTube. I typed in how to be a motivational speaker. Saw some videos. They said, okay, you need to do this. You need to get your website. You need to do this. You need to practice. And I was like, okay, I don't got money for the website. I don't got money for this. I don't got money for any of that right now.
because at the time I was 15. But what I did have was the audacity to go outside on street corners and record myself talking into a camera. And people were honking their horns at me. People threw stuff at me. People was like, shut up! And I just kept doing it. And eventually, I realized, wait, you're going to, you might feel upset when somebody says something to you. When they say, oh, your dream's weird. Oh, this, oh, that. The people who don't like me don't pay my bills. The people who do, do. Okay? And as you grow, and as you get older, and as you move throughout life, there will come many people who will have something to say about you. There will come friends who come and go. There will come family who come and go. There will come employers who come and go. There will be coworkers who come and go. There will be so many things that are going to try to say, you can't be that. You can't do that. You can't make a new genre of music. You can't become the next Beyonce. And not even become the next Beyonce, become the first you. Because it's only one of you. You will be born once, you'll be gone once. It's only going to be one you. No matter if you got the same name as everybody else. Your name could be John Jones, which is, it used to be a really common name a while back. My grandpa's name was John Jones. But even if you got the same name as everybody, even if you have an identical twin, there is one you and one them. I'm gonna wrap it up. I understand. I'm gonna close out real quick. Oh, they got questions for me? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little second here. But even if you have an identical twin and everybody thinks you two are the same person, you're not. You're one of one. You are the only one of you that will ever exist. There was only one Malcolm X. There was only one Beyonce. There was only one Jay-Z. There was only one of each person. So, I want you, as you get older, you don't need to have it all figured out today. You don't even need to have it all figured out this year. But as you get older, and just think about it. What impact do I want to have on the world? What impact do I want to have on my friends? What impact do I want to have on my block? What impact do I want to have on my city? Just, what impact do you want to have on people? How do you want to be remembered? When somebody thinks about you, what do you want them to think about? Oh, he was such a nice man. She was such a nice woman. She helped me to do X, Y, Z. She taught me this. She inspired me. She helped me feel good about myself. Just think about what impact you want to have on the world. Anybody got a question for me? Yep. No, not this year because I just don't have the time to do it. Yep.
So, you get paid to talk about motivation.
Pretty much. Like the way it works is usually this: either a place, no worries. Either a place will pay me upfront, like they'll send me a check or something, or I'll get paid at the end of it from some other way. It's a little complicated to explain, but yes, that's the short answer. Yes. Favorite place I've traveled to speak. I would have to. You ever been to the Poconos? It's called Kalahari Resort. Yeah, I was there for 3 days for a conference where I was speaking about how you can how throughout life you're going to have challenges that happen to you. It's going to be big issues, little issues, a lot of things are going to stress you out as you get older. And what I was speaking of was how do you turn the worst things that have happened to you into fuel to achieve your goals? It was mainly people who were 16 and older there, so we were able to get into some really heavy conversations. Yeah.
Do you have a stable job?
This is my job.
No, you said that you get checks either before or after what you do. So do you have a stable job? You get
Nah, this is my job. The way it works is this. So either I get paid off speaking events, I'll go to an event, they'll pay me for that. I sell books on Amazon. I do events where people will pay to have me come in and teach them something at my office. So there's multiple different ways. I gotta keep my lights on. Yep.
what
multiple. I think I've written like 7 at this point. The most recent one I did is called Power to the People, and I wrote it back when I was working at McDonald's, and it was about how you can better understand the way you think, to then be able to better understand how your physical health contributes into your money habits. It's something that might not really apply to y'all, but the 3 things from that book that I want you to start using is this. Get a journal and writing it every day. It'll help you to handle stress, handle your emotions. Get some form of physical exercise, like go to a gym, run around the block, go swimming, do yoga, stretch. Because when you get angry, you might feel the urge to fight people. Hey, no judgment, I've been there. You might feel the urge to yell at somebody. You might feel the urge to do something that you shouldn't do because you're angry. However, if you go do some push-ups, if you go run around the block, if you go do yoga or something, it'll help you to be less stressed out. And the last one is go outside. Like, go for a walk outside. If you live in a safe enough area to do it, of course. Because if you stay stuck inside all day, you kind of feel boxed in, you feel closed, you feel stuck. And when you go outside and get some fresh air, some sunlight, and you see the trees and the birds chirping, it helps you calm down. So just write about your day. Feel good about yourself. It'll help a lot. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yep.
How has
Yo.
how has your experience at Camp Jill Scott shaped what you do today and how you create your legacy?
A lot of things. So, first thing that came to my mind is believing in yourself. Being comfortable with letting your emotions out there. Because I'm not sure how it is now, but I'd assume it's similar. When we would be like jumping around and yelling and all loud, it kind of helped me to realize that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be too much, as people would say. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to be different. Because people will tell you that you're too much. Most of the time, though, those people can just go find less. Most of the time, it's the people who have these bad opinions about you, and they just naysay and they're just, I don't like it. Let them go find somebody else, okay? Whether that's a friend, whether it's a relationship, whether it's whoever. They can find something else. And being at Camp Jill Scott, not only has it helped me with my confidence, not only has it eventually led to me getting other opportunities with other organizations that they know, but it's also helped me to just realize that I can have an impact on people. Because I was that kid who needed what I do today. I started out doing this because I just wanted to help other people feel better. Anybody else?
All
Let's
right.
give it up for Lauren.
All right.